I'm the Ghost of Brian, and I watched a movie. Today's film is from The Asylum. If you don't know who The Asylum is, or are, well, you probably do. For a long time, they were dubbed mockbuster ripoff artists, known for their low-budget direct-to-video and Sci-Fi Channel movies, often imitating, cashing in on, inspired by big blockbusters. They put out an absolute pile of shark, bikini, ghost, zombie movies in a wave of nouveau grindhouse exploitation. They made good money at it too, ultimately funding their top cash cow, the Sharknado franchise. See? Told you you'd heard of them. A lot of reviewers cast shade at The Asylum. Is that how the kids say it? And frankly, not without some reason. A lot of their movies are boring, formulaic, and generally kind of terrible. Sharknado 3. But credit where due, their movies make money, so somebody's watching them. Personally, I see each new Asylum movie like a drunken mechanical bull ride. There's lots of reasons to think it'll go wrong, but they've given me plenty of fun, crazy rides too. So let's dive into Princess of Mars, aka Martian Colony Wars and Avatar of Mars, because it's The Asylum. Princess of Mars was directed by mainstay Asylum director Mark Atkins and stars, well, let's hold off on that. The movie is based loosely on the Edgar Burroughs series of books, the same Edgar Burroughs who wrote Tarzan. The movie and books star John Carter. The same John Carter is a legendary box office bomb, John Carter, or John Carter of Mars, or whatever they ended up calling it, by Disney. Disney lost $200 million on a $350 million budget. The Asylum says they've never lost money on a movie, and I kind of believe them. We open on some stock non-Martian mountains, an Asylum mainstay, and we move quickly to a non-Martian desert where our hero, General Hospital's Antonio Sabato Jr., stars as John Carter. He's an American Special Forces officer, naturally, in Afghanistan. Deep cover, super secret, best of the best. And he's gone local. He's in tight with several locals for no reason given. The banter here's funny, but I had to read it because the audio's kind of garbage.
It's a very nice speech. But you truly believe that your wife and son will be safer once I'm gone?
Maybe not my wife.
That's funny.
She likes you. You should take her with you.
She's too heavy. I can't carry that much.
I'll give you a cart. You seem to have a lot of money, but no one's getting any of it, except the prostitutes.
Then your wife is doing pretty good.
Carter gets into some shenanigans and whatnot and ends up trying to save, then getting betrayed by Sarka.
Thank you, John Carter. I owe you one.
JC winds up severely injured in the care of Dr. This Guy, and hey, is that Big Chief? No, it isn't. It's Tom Boykin, and I'm telling you because, sadly, he doesn't come back. Well, he does, but it's the same scene literally played over again.
We have this. The entire data to reconstruct you atom by atom lives on this 16 gigabyte flash memory stick.
I can make a copy of it for you. Isn't that great? A copy. So you'll go on living. Well, a copy of you will. So it's fine. For reasons, they're sending him to Mars, sort of. Well, a planet they're calling Mars, because sending him to the actual Mars would make for a very short movie. Why him? Because mortally wounded guys make the best astronauts. Suck it, Pete Conrad. I want to focus for a moment on the Asylum's filmmaking process right here. For the scene in which our hero is going to be teleported to a planet light years away, they've invested in a hospital set, a thumb drive, and the opening credits tunnel effect from Doctor Who. There's no teleporter set, no fancy sci-fi widgets, no big beam cannon, not even a Jacob's ladder or Van de Graaff generator. They don't even have a countdown clock or a giant button. So this is Mars, but not Mars. So screw you, Edgar Rice Burroughs. This is Tracy Lourdes. You can pretend you don't know who she is. Mars 685, or whatever they called it, is inhabited by Arabian Nights and an underdressed princess with some spinal issues. Carter winds up on her ship and is accused of being an assassin by this guy. And John wakes up nude in LA County. Rocks. And apparently knows instinctively that he can jump really high. Them special effects, man. It's just, and you'll see that same shape as being the jumping man through the entire movie. He borrows some rags and the hell are those things? It's the mounts from Wizards arrive carrying cages. No Groot, bad Groot. The Gamorrean Groot guards surround him and eventually, slowly, finally, drag him off. I gotta say, the masks aren't amazing, but I mean, some time and effort went into them, so I'll give him credit there. And then we walk back to the King of the Fuglies. I'm sure he'll die at the end. King Fugly knows that Carter has super jump powers, somehow, which he makes him demonstrate. And he agrees to do it, but he doesn't use these skills to escape. After 7 minutes, I despaired. Why don't you escape? Don't believe me? He does this. He can jump away. Whatever. Find your moment and leave. The other guy is Tars. Honestly, the best actor in this whole thing, even with this restrictive mask. Now we just need an enemy mine moment to make everybody friends. Maybe some convenient spider monsters. Chocolate takes Juan to the red light district and hooks him up with this lady. Oh wait, it's a restaurant, I guess. Or something. Table for one. I love this set. It's like a fantasy castle set with added backlighting and a shower curtain. There's even a goblet. I mean, what movie are we watching? Mars. Mars, everybody. Hacked up pudding. Tasty, tasty. I love this thing. It is a simple physical prop, probably from some other bug movie, and it's just here. There you go. This is Sola, by the way. In no way is she just like Nova from Planet of the Apes. She'll just travel with him, hardly ever speak, and constantly be a helpmate to John. So yeah. John is forced to eat centipedes. Slimy yet satisfying.
The Jubilee beetle allows all to communicate.
Oh, it's a babblefish. How convenient. Jabba's sand skiff arrives. Seriously, how is Lucas not on the phone already? Oh look, the princess is on Jabba's sand galleon.
Well, isn't that convenient?
For some reason, their plan of slowly driving by the guys with the guns doesn't work out. That outfit seems familiar. The ship is now in flames, so the princess flees on her, okay, don't say Star Wars speeder bike, Buck Rogers jet ski? Hey, remember this guy from the beginning of the movie? Well, he's Sabthon. If you think he's going to be our bad guy for the remainder of the movie, well, you're right. If you think he's Sarka, the guy who betrayed our hero at the beginning, well, you're also right. And just to establish that he's a really bad guy. Yep, shooting old people. Finally motivated to do something, John jumps aboard and finds out he's been accused of being an assassin. So now he's all caught up.
Stay away from us.
I'm not here to hurt you.
Sabtan said you were here to kill the princess.
No, I'm not here to kill anyone.
Help us. Those Starks will desecrate our bodies.
Can you tell me who that woman was?
She's Deza Thoris, Princess of Helium.
She's the Princess of Helium? Well, I'm the King of Oxygen. It's Kantos Khan, Lord of Exposition, and he has a poem.
I am Kantos Khan, Master Engineer of the Royal Pumping Station. We were en route to change out the crew. Remember this. Day by day, night by night, we keep the air clean and bright.
John hops, Incredible Hulk style I guess, over to where the princess has crashed her Flash Gordon mobile. How does he know where she crashed it? I don't know. In order to convince the Teenage Mutant Turtle Turks that she's his prisoner now, he slaps her. And earns a promotion for it.
I'm not gonna give you up to a bunch of bloodthirsty Tharks. You will thank me later.
The Tharks decide to take Duchess Nitrogen to see King Fugly, which makes sense. We are then treated to a 15-minute long ride across the desert. During the day, Tracy Lord succumbs to Stockholm Syndrome and falls in love with her captor. At night, they talk politics and kill bugs. Through these monologues, we learn that the humans on the planet, or whatever they are essentially suppressing the Tharks, who they see as uncultured and unworthy. The Tharks, in response, are fighting back. It's an interesting conversation, but since we don't get to see any of this, it just comes down to more exposition. I'd also like to point out another Asylum budget moment. The creatures from a distance are the same animated shots superimposed over different landscapes, and close up, all you ever see is a person sitting and rocking back and forth with 4 bamboo poles and a bit of red rag. Theater of the mind, baby. They come to the air filtration station. Filtration station. This, by the way, was the original destination of Jabba's giant sand junk, the ship ferrying Empress Nitrogen Dioxide and Kantas Khan, who was coming here to become lead technician for life. Apparently the Tharks don't believe the stations do anything of importance. Countess Carbon Monoxide woman-splains how the stations are super important and will clearly be part of our climax. Sabo Wabo is following. They arrive at Castle Brownstone. Inside, it's the red light district again. Oh wait, my mistake. It's backlit with green lights now. Did the Asylum make a movie with castle sets that year? Couldn't find anything. And seriously, welcome to Jabba's throne room. Jabba the Thark is unimpressed by the Baroness of Nitrogen's plans to man the battle station, or pumping station, and has her thrown into his Sarlacc pit of love. Tartamus gets demoted to bottle washer 3rd class, and John Carter is hauled off to the fighting pits. Tharky and the Sola have a plan, probably to free the princess, so we can get to the air pump station, which will be broken somehow, so we can have our climax.
Come with me.
Staples, that was easy.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
I've seen you before. Sarka! What are you doing here?
I think I was dying. I told them where I kept everything. If only they could keep me alive. Then, I came here.
What were you doing with the princess?
It was fate. We were destined to be together.
What? Sabo is Sarka? Oh my god, how is that not the dumbest thing? The Americans sent him to Mars too. I guess the army could afford 2 16-gigabyte memory sticks. Sarko somehow got to Mars first and put in the bad word on John Carpenter. Now he's in the dungeon with him because... I don't know. They're pit fighters now. 2 Earthlings enter, 1 Earthling leaves. Sabo arrives in the ring and leaves. He does have good advice though.
If you have a superpower, you should keep it hidden.
Yeah. Hindsight, that's a good idea. John throws a rock and brings Jabba down to Earth.
Do you accept the challenge?
Die!
You are unfit to command.
Tars wins. Fatality. The Tharks have a new leader. Yay, it's like Spartacus and insert other movie. I don't know. I don't care. JC takes the other flyer to go catch Sanka and Countess Carbon Monoxide at the pumping station, which is a, I don't know, water treatment plant, distillery. They go through a painful discussion about love, again. But she loves Carter for reasons.
I love you.
My heart can only go to one person.
And I want to be that person.
But it has already gone out.
They meet the head pumpy, and he lets them in. Stupidly, it doesn't go well. Sabanix destroys this tube that's resting on top of this power box, which causes the hydrogen thing to not thing anymore. The Pumpmeister runs, probably towards the backup generator, and Meanie follows. Sarbo kills Pumpenstein, and we are sad. JC and Sark 9000 get into the same sword fight I get into with my brother at every Christmas using wrapping paper tubes. Left, right, left. Saab realizes they both suck at it and flees deeper into the brewery. Sarkazulu monologues his plan about running the planet by holding the air hostage.
With you out of the way, let's say dead, I shall restart this pumping station. But only after the people of this planet make me their supreme ruler and bring me tribute.
That seems familiar.
Commence Operation Vacuum Suck.
Back to this shot, more jumping. Jumpman and his evil nemesis, Leaper. JC hears locusts coming. They jump. Dr. Sarcophagus is killed by this bug, so that's a climax, I guess. Cathartic. The air is running out, but JC remembers the poem.
I was with Kantos Khan when he died. He was saying something day by day, night by night.
Tracy figures out the clues and rushes to a boiler. They climb in and go down some stairs, clearly inspired by the poem. Eventually, they reach the valve room, where there's another special effect that is activated by a theremin wavy piano thing. President trifluoromethyl difluoromethyl ether knows the song, I guess. It's a happy ending Doctor Who effect? What are you doing here? Was it all a dream? Princess of Mars is not awful. It's an easy, silly fantasy movie with cheap effects inspired by other movies and a goofy plot borrowed from places. And it tries. The only sets are castles or dark rooms or the good old free outdoors. The outdoor shots get a bit samey and boring, and nothing feels alien, especially the industrial facility at the climax. The only decent actor is Tars Tarkas, who's in a massive latex mask the entire movie. Jabba gets to chew the scenery, which is entertaining. Sabato is okay, but he doesn't have a lot of range in this. He's almost always playing confused or grimly determined. The script really only gives him that to work with, though. Tracy is... Look, I don't want to put her in the ex-porn star box here, but her delivery style is a little slow and full of pauses. I think she's trying to inject meaning and weight into her lines, but sometimes it feels like she's barely above reading it off the page. Under it all, there's bits and pieces of a decent movie to get you through the end, and plenty to poke fun at. The movie's biggest crime, other than clearly having a sci-fi and fantasy library of movies to lift from, is the pacing. Some scenes are so slow. Scenes that should take only a few minutes drag on and on and on. They're, thankfully, usually followed by something fun or crazy, so the whole 90 minutes doesn't come off as a drag. If you're doing a bad movie night, this one's definitely a maybe. It isn't the best, but it's far from the worst. Thanks for a fun watch, Asylum. 3 out of 5. Hey, we got something. What does this mean? Oh. Okay, bye. It's not like I was curious or anything.